Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's discover what's under the roof today. It's Mo, and this is a very poetic character and a kind of a deep, I would say. It give you a sense of a mortality of humans, a sense of limit, like we are finite. Our time on earth is finite. Okay, so Mo, I translate as solitary, but depends on the context. You could translate it in different ways. But in the sense, the most basic sense, is this under the roof, there's like no human activity described by the sun setting in the grass. Ignore this part because the Xu Shen's 2,000 years ago's dictionary didn't include this character, but this is kind of a similar looking thing with some additional things. So here is like sun transition to the moon, right? We didn't have the moon here. You can see the contemporary Chinese two versions, both mainland China and the Hong Kong, Taiwan used in traditional here. They don't have this moon symbol. Instead, the sun is preserved. And this is the grass symbol. And somebody just turned this upturned curve thing, flatten it and connect it and make this into a grass symbol, right? It's kind of a nice unfolding, let's say, make it streamlined. And the bottom is, well, it looks kind of three-finger hand symbol, but it's another set of grass symbol that's kind of at the bottom, left and right. And somehow it was simplified into the character big. That's the confusing part. Because if it's extended like this, it should be something similar to this character. But instead, the top portion of this plant, like this two vertical lines combined, and then only the bottom got separated, which kind of gave it a sense of, okay, it's pointing toward two directions at the bottom, but somehow the top got overlapping. I guess Chinese has a tendency of economy of imagery. We don't want to create or preserve endless variations to describe this individual scenery. Instead, we use existing, like look close enough, existing more popular, higher frequency use character to replace something that's more specialized and unique. And that's the problem for later Chinese language users. Like things like this will be harder to explain. What do you mean? The big sun under grass. Instead, it's grass all around it. The sun is setting in the grass. And you have instantly, I mean, for humans, I'm not sure bot would would automatically know that, probably would. That give you the sense of lighting, the temperature, right? A lot of sensory intake over there. But the most important intake for the Chinese character of solitary, it means silence. It means no human voice around. All you see is the sun setting and the tall grasses growing here. I'm not sure if the Chinese ancient times living quarters is expected to keep your front and backyard as neatly like landscape managed as in America's today's standard. You have to keep it up to standard, right? To your neighborhood standard. I'm not sure if that's the case. Probably kind of a comparable, similar situations that a well-maintained house would remove all these overgrown grass that you would see the sun setting in the grass, right? So that imagery gives it a sense of it's kind of a nature taking over. You're seeing the sun setting in the grass. So low human activity is kind of a deserted, abandoned place. And that's the kind of place that's going to be quiet, give it an audio sense, but also solitary. If you go there, you won't have interruptions from other humans because it's probably out there. It's the house, no longer the shelter, no longer somebody's habitat. So I remember when I was visiting Hawaii, at the end of a rainforest, there was this house abandoned. You can see it's human structure building there, but inside all kind of vines and the tree roots like puncturing through. It's kind of nature taking over that structure. And I think that's exactly the sense of this solitary. It's somebody used to live here. It used to have this house, this human active, maybe family generations, right? Life comes and goes. And then at some point, life stopped. Life in the sense of human form of life stopped and nature taking over. Long grasses and sunset. So that's how Chinese construct a solitary. All right. 继母. We talked about a 继 a few weeks ago. It's the same under the roof, but instead we use the concept of younger uncle. And a younger uncle kind of food processing, a millet, and supposedly that's kind of a silent. So over there, this 继 jied came from your family activity, food processing over there. So there were humans involved, family involved, versus here, 莫 is completely abandoned, not maintained house. All right, 落寞 落 fallen. Mostly we use leaf fallen as 落, and 落寞 give it a sense of the rise and falls of human life, the good fortunes and bad fortunes, the wheel of fortune, if you will. And 落寞 is this downward going phase. And I guess Chinese associate when your life, your fortune was turning downward, that's a time when you're going to have the kind of solitary that this bad fortune brings, because normally show up friends would disappear at the moment. And Chinese often says, okay, that's the time when you test who is your real friend, who care about you as a person, regardless of your financial status or your success in a societal sense. So 落寞 is exactly describing this moment of your family fortunes gone, and then you get your solitary moment. All right, 漠然 然 is the status descriptor. We have all kinds of adjectives paired with 然 to describe the state. So instead of just saying 漠, which by itself is already solitary, but here we add 然 to describe the status of being solitary. So 漠然 simply as solitary status or solitary state of being. So here is a screenshot of this. Gee, I should remember the athlete who did this skiing down the Mount Everest. And I remember how empty, because, well, not exactly humanless, but it's pretty risky and a far away place from society, right? So over there, only the Sherpa accompanied the skier to the very tip, the top of Mountain Everest. And then along the way, the skier came across one random hiker who was trying to mountaineer, I guess, climb up to the top or somewhere. So he did. But throughout the whole process of skiing down, it's mostly solitary. And this zoom out view of this one skier, singular person in this big, huge landscape of snow cascading into these ridges, it gives you a strong sense of solitary. Humans don't live there. We only adventure there occasionally, and hopefully you don't die there. And that's the kind of extreme solitary described here. Thank you for your time. See you another day.